Elon Musk's all-new hydrogen car has shocked the entire car industry. Elon Musk just decided to surprise the entire automobile industry with a new set of hydrogen-powered cars, instead of his popularly known electrical vehicles. What's so special about hydrogen, and why is everyone so shocked? Join me today in this video where we shall explore Elon Musk's all-new hydrogen car that shocks the entire car industry. If you know Elon Musk so well, you will be well conversant with his former dislike for hydrogen-powered vehicles. He liked to refer to the hydrogen cells as fool cells instead of fuel cells. And at one time he called the idea of having hydrogen-powered cells mind-bogglingly stupid. However, his distaste would not be forever, as per what he wrote on Twitter earlier this year, acknowledging that he had been wrong all along. The tweet went something like this: "Really excited to announce we're switching Tesla from batteries to hydrogen in 2024. Watch this space for the amazing Model H. More range, fast refueling, drinking water on tap as you drive. I was wrong about fuel cells. They're actually amazing. Reserve yours with Dogecoin." His tweet obviously roused thousands of reactions from his followers who knew him well from his harsh criticism toward fuel cells, which, as you've noticed from his tweet, are still being referred to as fool cells. But Musk is just being himself and is just using the position he is in to influence people to rise to the fuel cells, or the fool cells as he likes to put it. What you should know about hydrogen cells is that they have a potential yet to be explored in the automobile industry. Currently, the industry is looking for ways of distancing fossil fuels as a source of powering cars. And hydrogen offers a better option. In fact, it could be way better than the current electric vehicles which Elon Musk has already dominated with Tesla. If you think it's a joke, then listen to this. Experts have predicted that instead of electric vehicles, hydrogen-powered vehicles will be the most driven vehicles on the roads by 2030. We could almost smell that, as Elon Musk promised to get into the fuel cells business, and we know what he can do when he gets into such an industry. In addition, some companies have started making inroads in the US with these hydrogen-powered vehicles. Toyota, for instance, already got into this venture and has made a couple of hydrogen-powered vehicles, which are currently active on American roads. So this is just an indicator that Tesla is not a pioneer in the fuel cell industry. In fact, it is also true that Toyota is also not the first to get into the hydrogen business. It all started in 1839 when Sir William Robert Grove, a Welsh judge, physicist, and inventor, made the first ever in history. At the time, his invention did not produce enough electricity to be useful, but we are now seeing the result of constant improvement and innovation, which will ensure that hydrogen-powered cars will be a thing in the near future. Nonetheless, one question is necessary and ought to have a better answer. Why does Tesla see fuel cells as a better venture for their already efficient and world-class electric vehicles? There are 1,001 reasons, but this is the most interesting. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, and you heard that right. Atomically speaking, it is the sole element that covers the largest percentage of all the things that exist in the universe. And that's not even half. Scientists discovered that a hydrogen atom can contain a lot of energy that can be converted to electricity. This discovery led many scientists to the pen, which is the best place in the world where you could possibly and abundantly find hydrogen more easily. Even so, hydrogen is not such a solo element as you might think. It has a high affinity to combine with neighboring elements to form a compound. Therefore, it follows that whenever hydrogen is found, it exists as a compound and not as a solo element. The best possible place to find it is in the pen, which contains rich sources of hydrogen combined with carbon and oxygen. From this abundant agricultural waste will come the most powerful energy to power up the world's vehicles by 2030. Yet, this is not the only reason why Elon Musk decided to carve into fuel cells. Experts will tell you that hydrogen-powered cars will soon be a threat to the presently domineering EVs. The competition is predicted to be so tight that Tesla would even lose in the long run. But what exactly does the competition entail? The main thing here is the shortcomings of electric vehicles, which we are all conversant with. The first is the long and boring wait each EV user must bear for their car to recharge. A typical Tesla takes about an hour or more for it to charge fully. That sounds like an eternity for a species which is least experienced with patience. It would be a good idea for them to go for an equally green option that would cut the time to a reasonable 5 minutes. And that's exactly what the fuel cell does. Refueling a fuel cell car takes at most 5 minutes, just like the traditional vehicles. Yet the dividends in terms of mileage are very impressive. You see, electric vehicle owners are always nervous because of the mileage stretch of their cars, which can only go for about 200 miles, which of course can reduce in cold weather. On the other hand, hydrogen-fueled cars can unleash an impressive 300 miles, which goes undisturbed regardless of the weather. What more would EV owners do when the hydrogen-powered cars, which are proving to be better than EVs? This is a great opportunity for Tesla to steal the show before Toyota has its mega with their hydrogen-powered cars. It's a fact that most EV customers will see hydrogen-powered cars as an option since it still meets the same end of promoting green energy. This move to hydrogen fuel vehicles will be an advantage to Tesla by 2024 as they plan to transition to the new game changer in the automotive industry. They might even consider renaming the company to Hesla, seeing how much of a success this venture might turn out to be. Now that we've seen the great potential of the fuel cell, you might be interested to know how it works. Here's the full detail. First, we cannot talk about a fuel cell without touching the electric-powered vehicle. The simple reason is that a hydrogen-powered cell is a hyper-hybrid of the electric vehicle cell, only that here, hydrogen is the main element that will kickstart the production of electricity. A fuel cell-powered car has a battery resembling that of a typical electric vehicle. Yet instead of obtaining power from a battery, there's a fuel stack pumped with pure hydrogen. The hydrogen is pumped with oxygen, which gives out electricity, and water vapor comes out as the emission. A full delve into the process of dealing with the anodes and cathodes will do more justice to the geeks who love to hear the hard stuff. But before we talk about that, it would be important to note that hydrogen-fueled cars don't need any form of recharging to produce electricity, which is good news for most of you. Instead, they produce electricity as long as hydrogen is supplied, and as we have seen, that takes a very short time to do. Now, to the inner workings of the fuel cells, hydrogen is fed to the anode or the positive side of the cell, while on the other hand, the air is fed to the cathode. The anode here is the main player, as a catalyst is fed which separates hydrogen molecules into protons and electrons, which are directed to the cathode. As the electrons go through, an external circuit is created and electric flow results. On the other hand, protons move through the electrode to the cathode where they combine with oxygen and excess electrons to produce water vapor and heat. The process seems so simple and easy, and it's quite an issue why hydrogen fuel was never implemented in the first place. But history has the answer. Up to very recently, the cost of getting hydrogen has been the main issue. Naturally, when the cost of manufacturing is very high, then the cost of hydrogen fuel cars automatically soars, which is not what Tesla would love for their customers. However, scientists are currently working on the cheapest way of producing hydrogen, so we can expect lower prices for fuel-powered vehicles. Plus, this will mean that the cost of hydrogen fuel will also reduce from the current $17, which can be translated as $8.5 per gallon of gasoline for the same distance. Yet still, the development of fuel-powered vehicles is quite far from being established. There are fewer hydrogen gas stations around the US, and the current stations are only situated within California, thanks to Toyota, which has made some considerable strides. However, Tesla might get in with wild energy to ensure that there are hydrogen gas stations all around America. We can expect a major change in the automobile industry by 2024. Anyhow, he has all the money and plans to make that a reality. The current hydrogen-powered cars are good, but still leave a lot to be desired. For instance, the power output, which is about 120 horsepower, which is lower than that many would prefer. Hydrogen gas best works as a steady power output, a quality that suits it best for backup power use. Driving a car at a steady speed is not always the case for many who travel through diverse terrain. It's also very limiting to just maintain a steady speed. Nevertheless, we can confidently anticipate a big change as a simple solution was found to combat that. And with Tesla joining the team, we can be sure that something better will result. Tesla should also be careful as other vehicle manufacturers are thinking along the lines of hydrogen-powered vehicles. They are actively researching and developing the storage of fuel cell technologies, which is another main problem in the implementation of these powerful cells. Unlike storage, the transportation of these cells is portable and cheaper to move. Yet much is to be done for the industry to see a marked success in the implementation of hydrogen-powered cells. We're waiting to see what Tesla has in store. Are you in support of Elon Musk's all-new hydrogen car? Why or why not? Feel free to share your views in the comment section below. Anyways guys, if you want to see more interesting videos, click the video right above. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications enabled so you don't miss out on the latest Elon Musk news.